Alright.
Well, yeah. So here we are anyway with the Team Burning
Whoa!
Invitational 3v3 best of 3 on Pornageddon, which, as I understand, is actually a comboxing map. So this should be fantastic.
I was gonna say, this is an interesting little game of, it almost looks like, well, US football. You've got both sides, a really colorful planet in itself. I mean, pings are, already popping out for both sides. Total of 39 mechs on this, and ladies and gentlemen, let the real hype train begin. Here we go. So, of course, we do have...
who is your favorite in this match, would you say, between these two teams? I mean, we have Jonas, Buckfast, Ace of Spades, Buckfast, Scottish player, previously played quite a lot, very, very good. Big friend of Nosebreaker, ironically enough. So we might say a bit of a, you know, friendly, nice, sportsman-like sort of taps on the shoulder, nice sportsmanship, nice nods to each other, and then G0hst will come in and snipe them both, probably deleting his own ally's commander.
Right, right.
You would do, right?
Well, I'm honestly gonna just have to root for the Team Purple, really, just because I only know those two. I know Imperator G0hst, he's a good friend of ours, both mine and yours, and the Nosebreaker, who tried to get mod ship through basically saying, I'm the mod now, everyone respect me. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when you've got, like, literally... Oh, wow, all of them... Surprisingly enough, they all spawned surprisingly...
Yeah, so immediately there's two big sort of areas, very, very hot areas. We have this purple player to the bottom of the planet lined up with this red one, and we have this red one and this purple one lined up on the top of the planet with the two at the back. So really, what I'd expect to see is that the players at the back are going to have to carry the eco, while also sending forces where they're needed to sort of get that final push, win the confrontations.
Right, right. It looks like there's actually a very nice... I mean, if you flip it a little bit, there is a very nice kind of... I guess no man's land. I mean, there's like a nice little line. Every player just kind of opening up very standardly, ironically in a comboxing, that's kind of hard to say, but everyone just kind of opening up nice and safe. Combat Fabric, though, coming out on the purple side here, quite interesting to see that first, so...
Very surprising. Maybe he's possibly going for mines, which would be... They could be devastating to a commander if he doesn't pull out the skidder, he treads on a few mines, that could be big. Although I'd imagine there's no real way that he could pull that off without it being noticed, so it's probably just for the walls, most likely, which is a shame.
Well, it looks like survey says we are going to see... Oh, that dog did not care. Oh, and it died, damn. Red, though, actually doing the same thing as purple here, though, pulling out a couple combat fabrics just to get that out. Some air scatters kind of starting to move around, get the vision. Of course, this is a very small map, so I don't really know why they need to do that. I would think radar would be sufficient enough, but the docks moving out. Grenadiers trying to just clean up the docks that are poking around. Plenty of energy and storage coming out for these players, because, of course, on the 39 metal that they have here, if you surplus, it's just never good, because you'll never get that metal back.
Speaking of small maps, they're bringing out the Pelter here on this side, which is going to be a tremendous pain in the ass, assuming it can go up, although it is very vulnerable at the minute. He is sending his commander to defend it. Well, the question is, will that red player notice? Will he send the Grenadiers in, possibly take out the Fathers? He could do it.
Hang on real quick. I'm going to turn you up just a little bit, because you're kind of quiet on my side, because I didn't realize I had the volume up for me, and that should take care of it. So, Pelter, though, coming up... Oh, getting the radar, though. That was actually kind of nice. There are no fabricators on that side for red, so...
Yeah, this is shaping up very interestingly. I mean, the red player at the back, as we sort of talked about and expected, is ecoing, while the purple player is actually going more heavy on production and less eco. So it seems like Team Purple is going for sort of an early victory. That may just be in response to the fact though that this purple player on the bottom side of the planet is losing quite heavily already, as is the top.
Right. Sorry, I'm just trying to kind of get all the audios and stuff down because I had the. Sorry, just keep going. Just keep going.
So the state of the game that we're seeing at the minute is Team Purple already massively on the back foot with one commander. Very close to going down, won't go down just yet because Red doesn't have the units to do it. While the other purple player on the bottom side of the planet is also suffering from very, very low health and is in a lot of danger right now, with the red player pushing him with some tanks. And it seems like in response to this, their third player, their eco player if you will, the one that was safe from the beginning, is trying to mass production, but he's only bringing out docks. And really, is that going to be able to do anything? Although the map is small, Red is going heavy vehicles.
I don't know. It might, if he can pull these docks in quick enough. This commander is at what, 5%. I mean, he might be able to save this commander, which it looks like he will be able to. The docks just being able to overwhelm these units, but there is this very nice wall here that red has. I mean, if you look at it, it's just completely covering what purple has in terms of defense. A very nice uber shot though from that commander, cleaning up most of that kind of army. And I think purple's on the back foot and just stumbling at this point. Will they be able to even kind of maybe fall back to their eco guy, just turtle up a little bit, and then maybe try and make some push?
Even if they do that though, they're in such a position now, if they fall back to that purple player, to the eco guy, build that turtle shell, they're going to give up all of this mechs in the middle, which realistically you wouldn't expect anyone to gain in one of these matches. You would have thought it would have been very short, very brutal. The way things are shaping up at the minute, it seems like purple might be forced to turtle until they die. But who knows, we might see some sort of amazing comeback. Especially love to see it personally.
Well, I'm going to have to believe because I'm rooting for Team Purple, so both commanders that did start off on the fronts now backing up, trying to rebuild. It looks like we do see, it looks like the fabricators and the combat dogs are starting to build up the walls so that that turtle shell can be built. But it looks like the red commanders are just starting to make their march towards their base, and they're bleeding out heavily, red. I don't know if they'll be able to pull this off.
I think they're not going to win this first game. As it stands, actually, I'm very surprised because the commander on the lowest health is actually G0hst, who is very, very strong play, has been an actor for a while. But despite that, he has managed to duel me to a standstill more than once in 1v1s, which doesn't really reflect well on me, considering how badly he's being whooped. So,
well, this is comboxing. This is comboxing, so if anything's to say, I mean, you can blame it on the boxing. I was honestly expecting to see maybe like a bit more of a drawn out, maybe orbital, maybe even on packs kind of game.
First commander about to go down here. Purple is building up boombots now, but this is perhaps 2-3 minutes too late. If they had done this earlier when red didn't have as many infernos, then they could have made some really big gains, you know.
Oh, these flame tanks getting close. Tanks over the wall, and there's the first commander.
And that's Nosebreaker, I believe, has just been destroyed.
Boombots scurrying over to protect their very damaged commander. Looks like, so whose commander is this? We see the Invictus, but I don't think any of them have specialized commanders on the red team. We see basically just generic copy pastas. So I don't know who happened to spawn next to G0hst, but he's gonna have to make some magic happen. I've seen it at least in my champ challenges when it seems that at the bottom of the barrel, boombots somehow do it. So that's why I'm still kind of believing, because I had a match in which a player named Snaketheon managed to somehow kill off this guy by just literally microing his docks, or not his docks, but his boombots to the highest peaks of heaven, and he managed to get the commander kill. But with all these tanks, all of this just kind of slowly closing in, here comes the boombots now. If he can get these around, which he does, there are still enough. Is he paying attention though? The boombots moving in, the uber shot fires, and it's not going to be enough.
No, it's definitely not enough. Despite that, though, it was a really good effort. Again, I feel like he came a little bit late with the amount of bot factors that the purple player had built up. He produced a lot of dogs. If he had went for boombots instead, definitely probably could have taken out a commander or two. At the very least, he would have made some big gains in terms of wiping out defensive fortifications, large numbers of follows. There was no infernos to really prevent it.
Ironically enough, though, G0hst is going to be the last commander standing. Oh, the explosions. Will he get the... Oh, I was hoping for maybe a wombo combo, but it won't be enough. And looks like this commander will fall to some grenadiers, and that is GG from Team Purple.
GGs are called. So that's round 1 of 3. Going into the second round, I think we'll see something a lot different compared to the first. I mean, in this, it feels, G0hst, Nosebreaker were the ones on the front lines doing the fighting, while, you had that eco guy at the back who will have been Girardi. I think they're going to change up the tactics in a big way. Like I said before, these are very, very good players, very skilled. They understand the meta quite well. They do have good unit control. All of the rest, it is comboxing, but I'm fully expecting to see them adapt. G0hst, they're very BM, just calling out that practice is cheating. Practice is unfair. They were not ready for this